Welcome back.
Looking forward to hearing how you kick their asses, Captain.
The captain ain't gonna be kicking no ass this time. Today's ass kicking is all mine.
Yeah, right. I'm glad you could join me for the worst mission in Standoff. I believe I may have said that before, but this time I mean it. The reason this mission is terrible is because of this fight.
Cat bombers. They must have been headed toward the Wraith. Kill them all!
The basic problem with it is that if I fly in my normal style, I will run out of afterburner fuel about 2/3 of the way through the game's actual big fight. And there's no advantage to flying aggressively on heavy afterburners either, because we're only going to lose 1 or 2 fighters in this ground, even if I stay almost completely out of it, or do what I'm doing at the moment, which is just killing off anything that comes quite close to me. Now, I apologise for the fact that this is an incredibly dull video, but, or at least it will be until we get to the next nav point, but that is, I'm afraid, just the way it is. There's going to be long periods of me waiting for something to come close enough to kill, because I don't have fuel to chase it down. This is because the Standoff team has done something which mission designers for these games almost inevitably do, and padded a mission with a relatively unchallenging opening section, meaning that you have to, when replaying it, go through this over and over and over again to get to the part you actually need to retry. Therefore, if you are fed up with this part already, you can at least remind yourself that you only have to watch this once, whereas I had to go through it about 35 times. I may be exaggerating slightly, but the next part is very hard and took a lot of retries to get one I was happy with. You think it used enough missiles there, guys? Yeah, there's a lot of friendlies here, so there's a lot of friendly missiles flying around, basically. Oh, just to make it worse, I complained that I'm spending a lot of time.
I'm a captain. This is Trigger. This wing now reports to me.
Waiting for the enemy to come close. Second wave of reinforcements spawns in the opposite direction to the direction that the Kilrathi have previously been pulling you in, just to, you know, make the game, make the wait a bit longer to actually get close to an enemy that you can shoot at. Or, of course, waste more afterburner fuel, which is the entire point of this engagement, which is particularly daft, because the game actually gives you more afterburner fuel for this mission. So why it had to add more fuel to your tanks and then put in an encounter designed to make you waste fuel, I have no idea. I mean, I assume they wanted to make it longer, more epic, but the smart thing to do would have been to give us an actually meaningful encounter, defending the Wraith and the rest of its carrier group after we'd encountered.
I doubt they'll have enough planes to try the Wraith again. Let's keep moving.
The Kilrathi carrier group that we're about to go and visit. Anyway, they didn't. You fly the mission you're given, and now we've got past that part, it's actually going to be quite fun.
Whoa. Is that all that's left of the Kilrathi fleet?
The rest, Captain, have taken strategic positions around the jump point. That is to say, they're bugging out.
Well then, let's give the rest of these flea bags a good reason to do the same.
So what we've got here is something pretty similar to the second mission of this episode. There's a bunch of Kilrathi fighters protecting a carrier group. We've got a Hakaga, a Snakia, 3 frigates, and 2 cruisers. We have to put a torpedo into each frigate. Well, we don't actually have to, but you don't want them around to shoot down other torpedoes. 4 into the 2 cruisers, 3 into the carrier, and you can't actually get the Hakaga in this mission, but to win the mission you've got to put 4 torpedoes into that as well. So we need 18 hits.
And deployed.
And so far we've got 1.
Man, screw this piece of shit.
I tended to find that if you don't try and kill these Vitari quite early, they will gang up on you and make it impossible to actually launch torpedoes, or alternatively, they will inflict quite heavy casualties on your strike force. And since you need as many torpedo or alternatively mace hits as possible, since Tango 1 there is flying a Morning Star,
Enemy cap shift is going down, sir.
it is the best thing we can be doing right now to be impersonating an escort fighter and knocking out Thrisses, and especially Vitari, though I think I've now got all of those. At least temporarily, they'll be more along shortly. This is the sort of the productive phase of the battle for us in terms of torpedo hits. You can, as a sort of guide, you start getting torpedo hits once Confed Fight does outnumber the Kilrathi by 1.5 to 1 or so, which we do currently, but that is a temporary state of affairs since we have some old friends about to drop in.
Never mind. Engines are fried. Doesn't look like this one's escaping.
Namely,
Hey, what the hell? That's Prince Bracket. Kill him.
well, I was going to mention Thrakath, but I think Stingray is exhibiting a good grasp of the situation and the correct approach to it. Thrakath is actually quite hard to kill, though. This Bloodfang is substantially better shielded than even a Vitari, and will in fact survive a dumbfire hit quite handily. And Thrakath will also run away once he takes an amount of damage equivalent to a dumbfire hit. So the way to kill him, we have to thin down his armour like I just did there, so that he'll actually die to a single dumbfire. And then hit the same aspect, which, when it's the front, requires a near suicidal ramming approach like that. Fortunately, I didn't take too much damage while doing that.
That's right, you bastard. And now it's your turn to die.
Normally I prefer to shoot up Thrakath's rear armour, but, well, that was just the way it happened. The reaction is fairly entertaining. I can't tell if they actually fly differently. Maybe some of the Batari come at you, but I looked around for Kilrathi behaviour on the map, and it didn't seem to change enormously. I don't get swarmed by Batari or anything now, so I don't think that killing Thrakath has any major effect on the battle, other than that his Bloodfang is very fast and has a lot of firepower, so it will do a fair amount of damage if left unmolested. Also, of course, if I didn't kill Thrakath, the threat would complain that I hadn't killed Thrakath, so that was another issue. But, of course, there's a difference between shooting down a fighter and killing a character, and Thrakath may not be entirely dead, but we will see how things go. For now, we have a fleet to destroy. The reinforcements Thrakath brings, while they're very numerous, are less dangerous than the fighters the Kilrathi start out with, because instead of a mix of Hriss, Sartha and Batari, there's a lot more Krantz, Grathas, Jalki, other useless things in them. Also, I'm sorry, Drakhai, but I don't know who Max Ragnith is. Also, I don't know what it means. The rest of that sentence is about the will to die for the glory of Kilra, but that's a much more comprehensible deathcom, I think. And a popular one, although I suppose ARG is always going to be a popular death message. The originals are the best. Anyway, as I said earlier, torpedoes start sort of getting lobbed at Kilrathi once Conrad gets a reasonable numbers advantage. So what I'm trying to do here is just kill cats as fast as possible, and ideally that would mean that I'd have snipers to lob missiles at. Though it seems that we're getting some torpedoes in anyway. And indeed the radar is looking quite healthy.
Up another kill for the Stingray.
Missiles are the fastest way to deal with Sartha usually. A single missile hit will take one out, but of course missile homing can be a little schizophrenic. Though they tend to get their man eventually.
Did he want to play?
I actually gave up on waiting for my next missile to hit because, you know, I had decided that this one had been decoyed off it at around this point here where it seems to go off somewhere else, and I went after another Sartha, but I didn't give the missile enough credit because it was that Sartha. Saxman seems to be really doing well with his torpedo hits in this mission. I think that's his third one. He's flying a crossbow, so that means he's got 6 torpedoes, but still, half hits is pretty good for the AI. Anyway, I'm now more or less clear. There's no cats within 5 clicks, so I thought I'd have a look at the cap ships. The Snakeer needs 2 torpedoes to finish off, so that's what I've provisionally tagged as my target.
I think I blew up the bridge. Yep, I did.
And that was very good news, because that explosion was the Hakaga's primary bridge going up, meaning that once the carrier goes down, we will have mission accomplished. Well, I mean, you only actually get mission accomplished before being cleared to land, but you know what I mean. This means I now get extremely defensive and very cautious about things because I don't want to have to play this mission yet again, and this is looking successful. We killed Krakath and done enough damage to the Kilrathi fleet.
Don't worry, I'm coming.
And it would be very silly to throw this away by accidentally torpedoing the carrier's wing rather than its engines. So, despite the fact that this torpedo run would probably have worked, I decide to abort it and come around from a more direct attack on the engines. While I'm doing this, various wingmen put more torpedoes into the cracks. That I think we get 5 or 6 hits on that, which is pretty crippled. It takes 9 to kill a Hakaga, so that one's in very bad shape. In the novels, actually, the Crackster ends up being rammed by a destroyer, so probably about equally bad shape to how it ends up here, but with fewer Confed ships lost.
Kilrathi bridge destroyed. Sounds like somebody's in dire need of catnip. Where'd you learn to fly, Fuzzball? Here I come to save the day.
We, however, have a carrier to finish off because I am a kill hog and want to have something I can claim as a kill, and this carrier is going to be it. Therefore, getting extremely close. Engine wash is not a feature of Wing Commander games, fortunately.
All pilots who are aborting the mission.
Strike Force is now out of torpedoes, that's why Stingray ordered a retreat.
You got it, sir.
But that Crackster looks pretty bad. There's a lot of holes in that where engines and bridges and such things should be. So I think we can reasonably retreat, though it is using its last desperate weapon and trying to blind all the remaining pilots.
Good to see you, Shreka pilot. The Admiral sends his congratulations.
So now we're back with what's supposed to represent the remainder of the third beat. I don't have time here before all of the end of mission message traffic starts up to do a roll call of each ship, but I do target them all, so if you want to see them, just look at the targeting box.
Request clearance to land.
You're cleared to land, Bradshaw. Oh, and bad news. We just decoded a comm from Thrakath. Guess he managed to eject after all. The good news is, that comm was a general retreat order. We won!
I'm also going to show you what Stingray's flying, because that's quite an interesting little craft he's got here. It only shows up in Armada as far as I'm aware. It's called the Wraith, and it was one of Confed's many superfighter designs that never really got past, I guess you'd call it prototype stage. There were supposedly a few of them built, but it was regarded as too expensive. You can fly it in the simulator in Standoff, though you don't get it in any of the campaign missions, not even on the losing path, which we will now be moving on to. Obviously, now we have the Chief complaining about our damage, despite the fact that we have just won the Battle of Earth.
You have got to be kidding me.
26 kills doesn't include the carrier, of course, so make it 27. Also, the 17-minute long mission, which is, I think, the longest one in Standoff by quite some way. Anyway, that does conclude this video, so thanks for watching. I've been Ilanin, this has been Wing Commander Standoff, and join me next time when we start to look at the losing path and how what happened to Earth in the ending sequences actually happened.